everybody, the Great Dino Rage here again, back with another video. Today we got part 3 of the basically mini review groupings of things I got for Christmas. First thing I did was the Hammond collection, and the second one was just a video on the Habitat Defender Triceratops and the Epic Evolution Triceratops. This video is just basically going to be all of the Epic Evolution or 2024 figures that I got for Christmas, excluding the Triceratops since I already did that, but it does belong with this group as well. But yeah, I'm really happy I finally have a bunch of these Epic Evolution figures. That's the new toy line for next year, or at least one of the new toy lines for next year, because we got a whole bunch of other ones, Legacy Collection, Hammond Collection, 93 Classic, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really happy with these. I'm also just really happy that I actually was able to acquire a lot of 2024 figures for Christmas. I was trying to use Christmas to kind of help, get the rest of the 2023 toy line, and I got exactly what I asked for. So that's pretty good. But yeah, with these figures, I like them a lot. With everything I got for Christmas, I've completed Wave 1 of the Wild Roars, Wave 1 of the Gigantic Trackers, minus the mint chocolate chip Triceratops. I might get that one, maybe, I don't know yet, but at least I already have one Epic Evolution Trike. And then I completed Wave 1 of the Danger Packs. I think that's what they're called. I think it's the Danger Packs. And then obviously I threw in Hammond Collection, John Hammond, just for kind of size comparisons with all these. And yeah, basically, minus the Triceratops and the Plesiosaurus, all of these are brand new species from Mattel. So brand new species to add to the collection. So that is always going to be a plus. I'm always wanting new species. Plus in a way, it does educate the public with all these different dinosaur or other prehistoric animal names. So I think that itself is pretty cool. So we'll go smallest to biggest. We'll take a look at the Plesiosaurus here. Really nothing too special or over the top with this one. I only wanted it because I'm digging the paint job. I really do like the paint job. They could have done just a simple blue, like the I think it was the Camp Cretaceous one, or the 2020 version, I guess. That one was just all blue, so that one was really natural looking, but this one is really natural looking as well. I really do like the dark colors on the body, and just the orange in the head makes it stand out, along with the yellow eye. But yeah, it's basically the same figure that we've gotten. First time seeing a Plesiosaurus in a, attack pack or danger pack assortment. It's usually in like the strike attack assortment. This one does not have any action features whatsoever, just articulation. In the jaw, that's pretty normal. The flippers can all move individually, so there is no button, so that's pretty nice. And then there is no other hinge in the neck to make it have like that classic Loch Ness Monster pose. It's just the hinge here at the bottom that you can make it go up and down. That's really it. But yeah, just a nice little basic Plesiosaurus figure. I really do like it. It's going to look really nice with all my other Plesiosaurs. And maybe down the line I can do comparisons with, this one and the other Plesiosaurs, or the Griposuchus and the Sarcosuchus. Maybe down the line, but I just kind of want to get my initial thoughts through. Next up, we got the 2-pack, which is brand new from Mattel to be doing with the Danger Pack line. So it looks like Mattel really liked the idea of how small Beta and the Listrosaurus was for the Dominion line last year, or back in 2022, depending on when I released this video. I guess they really do like that size. And I really do like it too. It's going to allow them to expand to smaller species, so they're not, going to do like an Archaeopteryx, for example, and make it as big as the Poposaurus. No, it's going to probably be like these, or maybe it's going to be slightly smaller than that. I don't know. But just smaller species like this are really nice. So basically the same size as Beta and the Listrosaurus. But we got 2 new species coming together for the price of one. Part of the swamp biome, I think is what it's called. And these are supposed to be battling it out. We got the Eoraptor, which is a new species. Really do like this one. I like the basicness about it. It's just a new species, so that's pretty much enough for me. I like the detail. I like the little rows of quills or spikes or whatever. I like how they gave it lips with the tiny teeth. So for a tiny figure, there is a lot of detail packed in this little guy. I love how the long gnarly claws, like those are really vicious looking. Like you don't want to get slapped in the face by those hands. I'm not sure how entirely accurate this little guy is. It probably is, maybe not. I don't really know. I'll have to look into it, but it's nice to get a new little species. And then the one that came with it is a new, somewhat brand new discovered species. Somewhat, I think it was like a few years ago or more than that. But this is Stuosaurus. I think it's in the family, same family as the Ankylosaurs, which is a really cool, unique one. You know, this is my first Stuosaurus and Eoraptor in my collections, in any of my collections. Doesn't have to be Jurassic Park, so it's really nice to have this one. The tail is probably the most interesting part of this little guy, you know, because of the discovery. They found like this really interesting tail that's not like the other Ankylosaurs, so I really do like that. A really great choice from Mattel, I would say. You know, nice little figures. And these ones don't have any movements on the neck whatsoever, maybe on the tails or the jaw like the Eoraptor, and the limbs can move, but that's really it. But really nice little tiny little figures. And I think we're getting another one of these for the 2024 line that comes with a Guanlong and another Lystrosaurus, so that's really cool. Next up, we got the Poposaurus, a brand new species. This one is not a dinosaur. I don't really know how to really explain it. I'm not going to get too much into it, but I think it's more closely related to like the crocodilian side of things. That's all I can really say. You know, there's a whole lot of stuff to like look into and to research about. But yeah, really cool, interesting species. It's definitely going to fool a lot of people when they get this and they're thinking, oh, look, it's a dinosaur. When really, you know, us paleo nerds, it's not a dinosaur. So that's really cool. The detail on it is fantastic. They definitely made it look like it's actually part of the crocodilian family, which it maybe not necessarily, but it looks like it would belong there, you know, with the amount of cool detail all over the back. You know, very crocodilian-like. And the tail, I really do like the tail. It's almost like a rattlesnake a little bit, but it's got like these cool little ridges on it. I really do like that. And the entire underside has like more of these crocodilian-like scoots or pattern on the bottom, so I really do like that. I like the detail on it. The feet are pretty interesting. I'm not sure how accurate this is to this animal. It might have just had 3 toes instead of 4. So I'm not sure how accurate that is, but overall it is a really nice looking figure. I really do like this one. Probably my favorite out of this first wave of Danger Packs. And second, we got a brand new Ceratopsian to add to the collection, and this is Eoraptor, so another smaller Ceratopsian. I really do like this one. I like when Mattel gives us more and more species from a specific family, so you can kind of group them all together, which is really nice. So, you know, we got another Ceratopsian here. I really do like the look of this one. The colors are based off of for it to be part of the tundra environment, so it's really interesting. Really do like that. I like the detail of the larger scales in some areas, like on the legs and the arms and on the body, and these large plate looking scoots or pieces of armor on the back. So kind of like the gigantic trackers, Triceratops, with the large armored plating, and you got a little bit of that on the edge of the frill. The frill is very sharpened on the edges. Not really, but in terms of design, it looks like that. Looks really cool. And you got the classic horns. You know, they pretty much caught the look of Eoraptor very well. The front limbs here are pretty interesting. I noticed this when I opened it. It's missing another toe, if you want it to be like the other Jurassic Park Triceratopses, but it's got like this weird dew claw on the side right here, so that itself isn't really fully accurate, at least the way it looks here. But, you know, it's a really interesting design nonetheless. But still a cool species to add to the collection. Now moving up scale to the Wild Roars. First up, we got a new crocodilian. You can never go wrong with crocodilians in a Jurassic Park toy line. I'm just going to say that right now. Griposuchus, so another prehistoric crocodile. And what makes this one really interesting is that this species never lived with the dinosaurs. It lived after the dinosaurs in the Cenozoic period, after the dinosaurs died out. So that's really interesting how Mattel just gave us a prehistoric crocodile that actually never lived with dinosaurs. So really interesting there. but still a really cool looking figure. I really do like this one. It's nice to get a medium-sized crocodilian, whereas the Sarcosuchus was like big. We can do like a comparison of those guys maybe later in a separate video, but I really do like the look of this one. You know, it's got the normal head shape of Griposuchus. It's got like that long snout, kind of like a Gario a little bit. And I like these little horns on the top of the head, you know, really nice. I like the texturing, very crocodilian-like. And as you can see at the bottom of the jaw, very crocodilian-like. I like the scales they have here. And that continues all the way down through the underbelly. So basically like a crocodile. And then it kind of stops towards like the tail, but all over the underbelly is pretty nice. Same with the entire body here. I really do like the crocodilian look on it. It looks really good. And then the tail looks nice too. I like how it's got some extra paint on there. The limbs look pretty nice as well. And the colors are very interesting. I mean, I don't really see an actual crocodilian actually having these colors in real life. But, you know, this is a toy. This is Jurassic Park we're talking about. So maybe geneticists or scientists, whatever, gave it these colors to stand out or something like that. But one of the main standouts here, and as you can see, the inside of the mouth is molded in a specific colored plastic, so it's not actually painted. But in addition to that, the teeth are not painted, and then they're not painted. These are actually just molded pieces of rubber, so they're not going to scuff no matter how rough you play with this thing. So that itself is really good, and you can make them look a lot sharper. So Mattel made them look a lot sharper because it's molded plastic, and they're not sharp. They're really bendy and soft, but they look sharp, so it makes it look a lot more intimidating, which is really nice. I really do like that. In terms of action featuring, you got a little rolling thing, you know. So the sounds are pretty interesting. They're not crocodilian sounds at all. But, you know, they're nice little prehistoric sound effects for a cool looking crocodile. So yeah, I really do like this one a lot. Next up, we got the Eoraptor. That's a mouthful. It's another Belissaur, part of the Carnotaurus family. And this one they made look a lot like a Carnotaurus with the horns on its head. So this one could actually pass for a Carnotaurus, but overall the proportions are really nicely done. It looks just like an Belissaur with the slender bodies and the stubby forearms, which I folded to the side to make it look accurate. Weird like that. But yeah, the detail, the colors are really nice. This is part of the tundra environment as well. The Griposuchus was river environment, obviously. But yeah, the colors I really do like. Makes it stand out from all the past Belissaurs we've been getting from Mattel. Yeah, the detail is really great. I like the leg sculpted detail. You got the classic scoots all over the body, like Carnotaurus. The tail is pretty interesting. Like, look at the tail. It's like almost like dragon scales, kind of, or like that of a rattlesnake. And I like how they kind of fade out into the osteoderms. So that is pretty cool. You can kind of see the little scales kind of in between the little the larger scales. So really nice design on the tail. And just like all the other figures, you know, this one has the sculpted molded rubber teeth, so they make it look better and sharper. So really nice there. Button wise, big surprise, they gave it the Carnotaurus sounds from Jurassic World, which it is another Belissaur, so that's not a big deal. Another species here we got, new one, is a Stegosaur. This is Hesperosaurus, so very similar to Stegosaurus. I think the only difference is that maybe it had longer limbs, or maybe that's just the toy itself, but I think it had rounded plates instead of more jaggedy triangle shaped plates. But I do like the sculpting work on the plates. They make it look kind of jagged and rough. I really like that on Stegosaurus toys. For some reason, it kind of works for a Jurassic Park toy line, in my opinion. But yeah, they look really good. The overall sculpt and just look of this dinosaur is really nice, part of the swamp environment, so it goes along with these two little guys. But yeah, overall, really nicely sculpted figure. You know, I like the paint job. It's very basic. It matches the environment very well. No articulation on the head at all. It's just a solid piece. The only action feature is actually with the tail, and then the legs can all move individually, which is really nice. I like the thagomizers. Would have been nice if they were painted, but it doesn't bother me too much. Action feature wise, it just moves the tail. Alright, so there were just herbivore sounds throughout the Jurassic franchise. You know, I heard Triceratops, Parasaurolophus, Ankylosaurus, and Stegosaurus. You know, pretty basic, but it works perfect for this species. So, and yeah, I really do like the sculpt work all over the Stegosaur. Looks really nice. Looks really good. And then last but not least for this wave of Wild Wars, we got probably my favorite out of this one. And that's the Megalosaurus. And now what makes this guy special is because Megalosaurus, I think, is one of the first named dinosaurs ever in history. So that's what makes this dinosaur pretty special, the first named dinosaur. I don't know why it took Mattel somewhat this long to give us this new species, because it's a pretty famous one, but you don't get a lot of figures of these. So this is my first Megalosaurus in my collection, so I'm going to treasure this one for sure. But I really do like the sculpt work on this one. Really nice detail work. Mattel is seriously improving their sculpt work on these figures. You know, look at that, all the muscle definition, the veins or the folds of skin all over the body, very reptilian-like. And then, you know, you got this really interesting scoots all over the legs right here. Really cool. And then you got some more scoots that continue from like underneath basically the armpit of this dinosaur, and they kind of continue all the way down the side and continue through the tail, as you can see right here. So really interesting design choice for this Megalosaurus. I really do like it though a lot. Makes it stand out. I really do like it. But you know, you can see the detail on the leg here. It looks really nice, and the colors look really nice too. This one's part of the Savannah, the only Savannah dinosaur we have from the Epic Evolution line so far. So don't know why we haven't gotten any from the other ones yet. You know, Mattel, for the first wave of the Danger Packs, they give us 2 river dinosaurs, the Plesiosaurus and the Poposaurus. They could have easily given us a Savannah one instead, but you know, it is what it is. It's got the separate molded teeth, which look really nice as well. But yeah, very nicely done species. And then here's the action feature. So weirdly enough, the sounds are actually the Atrociraptors from Jurassic World Dominion. Kind of an odd choice for a Megalosaurus, but if you're just a kid playing with a dinosaur and you're not into the sounds like I am, you know, it's just a cool dinosaur roaring sound effect. But still a really cool one. Probably my favorite. Second favorite would probably be the Griposuchus. Now, last but not least, we have the other member of the gigantic trackers, and that is Neovenator. So a brand new species introduced into the Mattel line. Really nice one. This one is, you know, it looks really good because I like the colors. You know, I like the paint job, the paint application. It feels complete because it's from head to tail, kind of. And even on the underbelly. So this one feels really complete. I really do like that. I like the sculpt work. I like these larger osteoderms or bumps all over the upper half of the dinosaur. Looks really nice. It's got really large hands with some really nasty looking claws. It's got really slightly longer feet, but they're not super long. That's actually due to the claws. They make him look long. So you do not want to be kicked in the face by this dinosaur either. But I think this one was actually a fairly large dinosaur. But I really do like the sculpt work on this one. When you have these dinosaurs and play around with like sunlight, the shading brings out these scales really nicely. Now the head could be better, slightly better in my opinion. So it looks kind of animated. I don't really want to say goofy because it doesn't really look goofy, but kind of, you know, less realistic like in my opinion. But I mean, it's not terrible. Obviously the skull holes are not accurate at all, but you know, it gets the job done, I guess, for just a new dinosaur or a generic head sculpt. You can see the nostrils right there, but really nice sculpt overall. You know, nice scale work on the jaw. Feels really realistic too. Here on the inside, you got separate molding for the inside of the mouth and this nice fleshy color, and the teeth are molded in a rubber plastic. So I really like how Mattel is continuing with this with their main line, not just the Hammond collection. So it looks really nice. The teeth are less sharper than some of the smaller ones, but they're not terrible. I really do like that. And yeah, I really do like this one a lot. You got a little button right here that's also very rubbery, that if you push it, so it does like this crazy movement where the head goes up and down, opens its mouth, and the arms swing back and forth. So kind of a cool little feature. And then you got the other evolved version of this one, and it looks like only the gigantic trackers and maybe some larger dinosaurs are only going to have this evolved feature, not any of the Wild Wars or the Danger Packs, which is kind of weird. But this one, you just basically pull this up and it reveals some like quills or spines or something. I'm going to use them as like quills. I like the idea that maybe they're closed normally, but if this dinosaur is frustrated or trying to impress a mate or trying to intimidate or scare off another rival, it puts these up and it makes it look more fearsome. So I like that. Kind of like what some birds do. They flare up their crest to intimidate. So I really do like that a lot. So yeah, I really do like these figures for the Epic Evolution line. I can't wait to get more for the year 2024. This video ended up being a little longer than I thought. I'm going to try not to get them too long. It's just my initial thoughts on all of them. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys again for the next one.